insult. That was an I'm just yeah, no,
Toilet.
if we're
Yes, hi,
still
Kay.
if we're still at the manor, I want to have
Yes.
yeah. But so
Yes.
let's say maybe it's like early morning. They've slept. Everybody's
Yeah.
starting
But
to wake
before
up.
we do begin, if we are on the chippity
Jibbity.
crack of things, who would like to? Hi, everybody. Who would like to give us a recap of last session for a hero point to distribute among themselves or others?
I'll do it.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna go ahead and just say that I'm giving the hero point to Beans for being late.
Okay.
Wait, you get rewarded for being late?
I'm giving
I'm
it.
gonna
I'm giving it to
play
Beans because I feel like there's gonna be, if some stuff comes to a head.
Oh, this is gonna be the I'm sorry. You're gonna have
So
to deal
you're
with the
getting
interaction.
pre-apology hero points.
I'm not apologizing. Well, anyway. So
Anyway, let us.
So okay, let me remember how things started. Okay, so we are in Bears Bay. We get greeted by Pandora, or was that the season before last? Anyway, we got greeted by Pandora. Kind of, get told that we need to go see Rocco. He's got some stuff that he needs help with for the home of little Pathfinders. We go see Rocco. It's really emotional because he's so. Rowan has regrets. Let's see. Max is still being a crybaby bitch. Tandor seems totally like nothing happened.
Oh no.
Shh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. On the outside, seems like they're going about things, kind of not like Max is, Max is outwardly affected. Tandor, however, needs to be perceived and is perceived by Rowan. But yeah, so we meet Rocco and the very controlling fucking maids. What is it? What's her name? Oh my god, I posted a thing about it. It's been all over my TikTok.
V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta. So Venita Bottega is all over shit. Bonita. All over stuff and things. Let's see. The four of you all, while Rowan's rummaging through stuff and being a crybaby bitch without people watching, they share stories with Rocco. And then we all get sent to the school to help out, which was the best part of this the session, I think, was interacting with asshole kids. So Max was sent to the workshop, which was pretty neat. Write down his the shit that he does with the building traps, which was great. And Leon was getting totally annihilated by children, and then Rowan, Akar, and Tandor annihilated some children.
Fuck that kid up! Get out of here.
Let's see. Is there anything crucial I missed? Oh yeah. Akar approached Max. Max was being, a Debbie Downer, trying to be outside, away from everybody.
And there was a whole lot of homoerotic subtext.
Yes, very much
It's
so.
not subtext. It was very much out of text.
It was very obvious.
This was dumb text.
And yeah, while everybody was inside, just kind of, vibing with Rocco, Akar was, spitting some hard truths, some fucking great lines. What were they? Does anybody remember what those bangers were?
Real quick, I actually have a mechanics question. Rocky,
Yes.
Can I take away here a point from Riley for saying Dom text? I just didn't want that to go unnoticed.
Don't worry. I've already got a roll of misfortune set up for later.
Oh,
Thank you.
man.
But what Ikar did say,
Shit's a lot different when you're not
was
with other
it's
people.
just a lot different when you're not with other
Yeah.
people. A lot less work. And Max says, "Yeah, easier." And Icar said, "I didn't say that."
Some profound little
Icar
shit.
is like, I was worried there for a bit, and then I was like, oh yeah, go Icar. And then I was worried again. He teeters. he's like not the best mediator, but he's still there. He's trying. He's doing his best as to reach out to Max, who is going through it. Yeah, and that's where we left off.
All right, hero point distributed, and we will be moving on to say around the next morning at the manor.
Yeah.
There is likely the very soft sound of the early risers who are around Vanita getting breakfast done in the kitchen.
Where would Tandor be? Beans?
Good question. Sorry. Monitoring the microwave. Early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Tandor would probably be outside digging through shit. Just like
Outside
trying to
dig-
find herbs
Okay.
or mushrooms or something
Okay.
around the tree because the tree is magic.
Okay. Well, then Rowan will just emerge from, the room she slept in with Ixen kind of floating behind her. She's usually, when she gets up in the morning, she, gets all the gear and clothing on and the cloak. Instead, she's like kind of dressed down a bit. Just kind of wearing a lightweight tunic with a pair of loose, like, fitting pantaloons. Kind of earthy tones, and she's barefoot. And asks Vanita, have you seen Tandor?
Likely rooting around in the roots.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Hey, notice she raises her foot, like showing off the bottom of her. I'm not wearing any shoes.
You should really trim your nails.
Rowan keeps her foot up and kind of leans forward, squinting. They're not bad. Come on. It's not like they're talons. Listen, I've not had time to... Thanks, Vanita, for pointing that out. I will take care of them. I promise not to leave toenail clippings.
If you take after him, then, well, they get jagged.
And with that, Rowan just puts her foot down, kind of stomps, and turns around and goes outside barefoot.
Literally, what the fuck? That is not a character trait, as far as I know, of Araco, is having talons?
Right? I didn't say talons.
Vile.
They said
cruel.
jagged.
Yeah, jagged, which basically means, you could scale a coconut tree with those things.
I mean, have you seen Old Man Toes?
True.
Do not compare Rowan's toes to old man toenails, okay? No, but do I need to perceive, or would Rowan be able to see instantly where Tandor is?
Let me see. Let's have a opposed roll here. Survival versus perception.
My perception?
Or survival versus survival.
Okay, survival.
See how
No,
Not the best.
where's my survival? It's probably crap. Yeah. Then I gave you the
So-
hero point.
So it's not a matter of if you find them, but it's more a matter of when you find them. You didn't fail by 10, so it's probably about for the better part of an hour it takes until you happen to find.
Really? Just is there digging close by the tree? Well, it's probably a massive tree, so Rowan would probably circle.
There's a lot of other kind of shrubbery, and in order to
okay.
sort of really get into the dirt, you kind of have to really wriggle under the roots, which I assume Tandor is doing.
Oh, I'm fully on my pronus.
Okay, well then Rowan searches, and how would Rowan find Tandor? What is Tandor doing when Rowan walks up?
Tandor is almost assuredly, like there's probably some small little like bushy tree, like very low to the ground, that has created like a shadow that a bunch of mushrooms are growing underneath, but like had to crawl underneath the little tree to get to the mushrooms, so
they're-
slightly hidden, and is just muttering to themselves in Kolo something. But for the viewers at home, it's basically just like discussing of the colors and the shapes and trying to decide if this is safe or not, and taking tiny nibbles and saying too spicy and then throwing the mushroom away.
Is there-
and, all that.
Is their head kind of like in something like in the bushes, or where they can't
Oh
see?
yeah,
Or...
all you see is ass.
Can I stealth roll to see if I can sneak up after seeing them?
Yeah, this will be stealth versus perception then.
Oh god, I have
Hell
horrible
yeah.
stealth. Okay, well,
Sharp
since I failed
ears
that,
and a sense of awareness, including a good nose.
I'm gonna say that Rowan, like, as they're trying to tippy toe towards Tandor, ends up like tripping over a I don't know, a twig, just a crack.
Yeah, just one little tiny twig break.
Mm-hmm.
Tandor hears that and like does the crazy fucking like cop or army guy thing where they roll on their back and like has the Kusarigama out, and he's just like exactly, just rolls over.
Oh,
Oh, it's you.
yes. Shit.
Narrows eyes, puts Kusarigama away.
What were you up to there?
Looking for breakfast.
Vanita cooked breakfast. I think I know why you're out here finding breakfast. You don't want to eat inside, do you? She scared you.
She's so scary.
She really is, isn't she? And she's quite rude.
She's so rude. She's so scary, and I'm nervous because I feel like I am tornado inside of scroll shop.
You're no more of a tornado than any of us are. Especially Akar. You saw the mess he made.
Yeah, well, he has no shame.
This is true. Did you find any that are edible?
Inherent Colo guilt.
Like at the question of did I find any edible, one hand has a handful of mushrooms, the other hand also has a different handful of mushrooms, and stares and goes, "Do you want to try?"
Can I roll to see if I recognize any of these mushrooms, since I'm kind of...
Nature or survival.
Her Rowan's tummy just kind of grumbles a bit. I just skip breakfast myself because I'm trying to avoid her as well. What do they look like? One at each hand. What do they look like?
In one hand, there's a lot of oyster, wood ear, sort of light-colored mushrooms, things that look pretty edible.
Mm-hmm.
Shelf shrooms.
Yeah. And then the other one is basically what looks like death. But
Well,
also, there's no guarantee that the ones in one hand aren't fatal.
or hallucinogenic.
Mm.
Have you tried any of these? I know you like to test little
Oh yeah,
little nibbles.
I've taken bites of all of them.
And
Do you want the not spicy one?
yeah, I'll go for the non-spicy one. Yeah.
All right. Almost assuredly, that's the one that's not poisonous or
Mhm.
hallucinogenic. It's just mushroom. So yeah, I hand it over.
Thank you. Well, hey, Tindor, if you're satisfied with your haul, maybe we can take this snack somewhere else. Maybe we can take this somewhere else.
Let me slip into something more
No.
comfortable.
No, I was thinking we could have our breakfast somewhere. I'd like to show you.
Okay, that sounds fine. I mean, it's not really breakfast. I, just got some ingredients, but I can eat these. This is fine.
Oh. Rowan pops the mushroom in her mouth. Oh, that's tastes like
Roll for initiative. No. That would be funny.
Constitution roll.
No, you're fighting the mushroom.
It's trying to come back up the
Yeah.
esophagus. It tastes almost like nuts.
Yes, exactly.
What does the other one taste like?
This one holds up something that is like red and
Oh,
spotted.
God. Oh. That one
This
looks
one?
scary. Yes, that one looks scary.
So spicy.
Like
So spicy. Don't
like
want it.
like hot as spicy hot
No, like
or
spicy.
tingle?
Like yeah, like the
Here,
you know when
let
you
me have
eat
nibble.
something hot and your mouth gets the feeling
Yes.
of bees.
Yes. I mean,
That.
kind of, yes.
So spicy.
Let me get a nibble.
Oh my god.
I want to
Okay.
see what this what this
Yeah,
is.
give me a fortitude saving throw, please. And thanks.
Ciao.
Yeah, you definitely get the feeling of angry bees in your mouth and the immediate rejection of everybody saying no.
Yeah, no, this is not the one we're having for breakfast. Stick to the nutty ones, please.
Okay, we have for lunch.
Okay. So, come with me. So, Rowan's gonna kind of lead the way. Let's see. She's kind of walking at a slow, like, just, not in a rush. Hands kind of folded behind her back, and let's see. So they kind of go from wherever Tandor was digging, which I assume is kind of nearby, and Rowan takes them to a pathway that's like made of like stones, like a stone pathway. And it's like there's this arch that's like covered in wisteria that wraps around it.
Oh my
And
god, the place.
and so yeah, they're walking along that path. They go under the archway with wisteria and vines hanging from it, and in the distance you can kind of see a gazebo, and then like right near it is like a massive willow tree, and its leaves are kind of draped. It's like 90 feet. Like, it's fucking humongous. It's been growing for how long? So it kind of drapes over
this
the...
thing is a beast.
Yeah, it drapes
100
over
years,
the
yeah.
drapes over the gazebo. You see, there's the gazebo. There's like a small table and a couple of chairs, and it looks like there's, been people sitting at it. There's the candle and maybe left out coffee cups or mugs or something, and it's, let's see. There's like wisteria and abretta, like vibrant purples and stuff draped over it, and the stone steps kind of wrap around the gazebo, and it leads towards the willow tree. And on one of the big branches, there's a swing. It's a round bed swing, like just massive, just kind of slowly teetering back and forth with the wind. This is where we're going to have our breakfast, right here.
Okay, I mean, swinging and food is weird, but okay.
So I think the bed swing is like enough to have like 4 human-sized people, so there's plenty of room for them. So Rowan climbs in, rolls onto her back, propping her arm under her head, just popping another mushroom, and then pats the spot next to her.
Tandor does what can only be described as like the kitty right before pouncing. But you know how cats, when they go to pounce, they do the thing and then they like second guess themselves right before.
The shack wiggle.
Yeah, they do the wiggle and then they go like, so Tandor is wiggling, eyeing up, trying to figure out like where exactly is the best time. Like, okay, it's swinging, okay, and then just kind of plops hands on the swing, and then lifts one foot up, and then just kind of like doesn't trust their other leg to lift up, and just kind of like scoots in the most just so ungraceful way. Just barely getting on the swing, is panting when they finally get on.
Rowan sits up, just like trying to snort back her laughter. She's like, "Are you good?"
This thing is so complicated.
Oh, it's not so bad. You just kind of just drape yourself over it, and you made it. That's what counts.
Okay.
Okay, take a breath.
I mixed up the
Take a
mushrooms.
breath.
Oh no.
Wait, did you eat? Oh no, did you eat the spicy one?
No, they were just in my pockets so I could climb up on here, but I don't remember which. And digs through pockets, pulls out mushrooms. I think this one is good. Okay.
Well, I thank you for coming out here, Tandor. It's been like near 100 years since I've walked these grounds, and she looks up to like the draping, like what do they call them on the trees? Willow trees. They call it's a certain name for the leaves.
Fronds.
Just looks up at them draped over, and the sun's just kind of peeking through. It's really relaxing out here. Do you feel
Yeah,
relaxed?
that's not bad. It's pretty good, I mean, you got sun and tree, and you got strange contraption, torture device.
This is not a torture device, I promise.
Just like stops, like counting on fingers, turns head and stares. It's not bad. It's okay. It must be nice growing up here.
It was. I've been thinking a lot about it since we've been here, and it was a great place to grow up. Well,
Just start shoveling mushrooms in mouth.
So, enough about me growing up here. Say, how's the fire holding up in there? Rowan kind of reaches a hand towards Tandor, her hand kind of hovering over their chest, but not touching. Rowan kind of closes her eyes for a moment. Is there a roll that I could do to see if Rowan can feel any presence of heat against the palm of her hand as she's kind of hovering her hand there?
Good question. I'm going to take a peek at something right quick.
Ooh!
Scary.
Roll for initiative.
Can you roll a fortitude save for me?
You could give me perception, nature, or arcane in this situation. With a 22, there is sort of like a sort of a warmth, but it's sort of a bit difficult to tell if that might just be, the body heat of a savannah living kind of creature running warm.
Rowan opens her eyes, looking directly into Tandor's, and she kind of, well, okay, I was gonna describe her eyes. So, like, her eyes, piercing blue, right? But the whites are kind of giving off the same blue, but kind of faintly. They're kind of reminiscent of Pandora's eyes, but just not as brightly glowing. Think like people from Arrakis when they start sniffing the spice. But yeah, she's just staring directly into Tandor's eyes. Just, how are you holding up?
Oh, my fire is fine. I mean,
You do have a grasp on it.
yeah, my grandma, she kind of stayed home, and she didn't like the outside, and she didn't like to do a lot of things, and I think that's what made her sick. And me, I just do what I want whenever I want, and then it just don't. I feel good all the time.
It's almost as if you suppress the fire. It's not good.
Maybe. Maybe it's
You-
something worse.
Well, hopefully we'll find out soon about that. But you do have a good grasp on it, and you do an amazing job unleashing it when needed and calming it when needed.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah, I was surprised that you were able to not rip Max to shreds in the midst of your rage when he decided to draw his guns on both of us.
visibly Tandor looks uncomfortable.
Rowan looks regret, but she kind of leans forward and places a hand on Tandor's. I know that you have a strong love for Max, and that's a powerful thing. I know that you're hurt, and I know that he is hurt.
Kind of stares off a little bit for a second and just kind of sighs. I made mistake. Shouldn't have done that. And he's mad for good reason. But also, how can he be mad at me?
I think it's because you're so important to him. Max seems like a loner by nature, but he found you. And it seems like if you weren't as important as I can see, then he wouldn't be mad. Otherwise, I don't think he would be with this group if not for you, Tandor.
Rowan, and just kind of puts paw on hand. With all due bananas, you know not of what you speak, but I like it, and I like you.
I'm glad. I like you. You've got
But
the
you
fire.
do not know what you speak.
Well, maybe not.
It is hopeful, like a child, and that is so good. But again, with all due bananas.
Thank you for the bananas.
You
I
are so
understand.
welcome.
I understand, and I know that I might not know all the bananas and the pears and the peaches of what's going on. I'm looking from the outside, outside looking in. But I don't know. When you're on your own for a while, and then you are on your own with someone else, as I have been with Icar, I understand what it's like when others kind of step into the whole picture. It kind of throws things off a bit, and I don't know. I think that, again, if he didn't care, he wouldn't feel as hurt as he is. And I just want to say, that amidst your rage, I imagine if you didn't care for him, it would have been worse. And it wasn't. I think it was just a matter of miscommunication, because I feel... Rowan looks a little frustrated. We're companions, and whether or not Max would be here if it weren't for you, I want us to be able to communicate and trust each other. I know that he is concerned with the trust he has with you, but if it weren't for you and my concern, I would have burned him to a crisp with him pointing his gun at me, but that's neither here nor there. I was more concerned about the both of you and what that situation would do, and it seems that it wasn't good. I know he said you
Tandor.
betrayed. I know he said that you betrayed his trust, but I don't see it that way. It didn't. Again, it was a miscommunication on everyone's part. We as a group just lack trust in each other.
Tandor is absent-mindedly picking apart one of the most fucked up looking mushrooms.
What are you
and
doing?
Just tossing it on the ground. You know, like one does with like paper or whatever. Clearly, like, you know, a stress thing.
Yeah.
Keeps tossing, ripping, tossing. You
What-
know, does Icard treat you like a pet,
Oh no.
or do you treat him like pet? Like small lost dog?
Is that how you feel? Is that
That's how I know. That's just the truth.
No, but Ikar and I have been together on the road in our travels for a long time, and I can tell you that he and I, friendships are not always sunshine daisy and, you know, everybody tra-la-la. We've had our fights, but we're both stubborn. But we come to find that it's just pointless to stay angry at each other. But if that's how you feel, Tandor, tell him.
No, it's just truth. It is known. It is a thing.
Well, hard truths, sometimes people need to hear them.
No, but he knows. He said
That he sees
this
you as
is how
pet.
it was. He burned down my job, and you know, he felt bad, so he, you know, like it come from guilt. He never saw me as friend. Maybe it happened a long way, but you know, that's how it is. He felt guilt, and you know, I wanted to go see the world, and I always thought, you know, good of him, but you know, he didn't think much of me. And it's not sad. It's not sad. That's just, you know, it is how things is.
Yes. You know, I don't think he likes me very much, but, you know, maybe that can change.
He doesn't like anybody. That's why
That's
I'm
very
not sad
true.
about that, because he doesn't like anybody, and like you have to. I've never seen him like anyone.
Well,
So you know, for him to get mad at me and be hurt by me is so crazy.
well, again, I
'Cause he
feel
doesn't
like
me.
no, Tandor. I think in this
No.
instance, if he didn't care, he would not have gotten so angry.
Well, that's what I'm confused about.
It's
He should have said something, so then I wouldn't look at him the way that he look at me. To look at him, you know.
Looks at me.
I
And I look at him. He looks at me.
I
Look at him.
I think that Max is in his own way. He seems very set in his own way, and it's obvious that he's hurt and feeling some sort of way. And it's obvious that you're frustrated for not understanding this. I feel like the only way that things are going to get resolved is if you talk to him. I count me out as a mediator because I've already shown my ass without realizing I'm not good at communication. But I try. I just...
What do you mean you're not good? You're talk to me.
Well, sometimes people have a bit of a wall, or they have prickly skin. And I feel as
Like
though
porcupine?
maybe Max might be a different breed of porcupine.
Can I roll to see if that Tandor now thinks that Max is part porcupine?
You can give me a perception check to see if you can pull that off.
So that means that Tandor is probably gonna think he's a porcupine.
Fully convinced that he's part porcupine. Oh my it makes sense.
Yes, sometimes it's very hard to get close to porcupines. But you seem close, you two, and I know that I have my faults, and I think that his porcupine-like personality is kind of pushed me back, and I might not come off as someone who appreciates his company, but you know, I am quite fond of him. In a sense that when we all first came together to do our missions, I was impressed. I thought he was quite witty and quick-tongued, but the porcupines, the quills, those things, they're prickly, you know? Sometimes too prickly.
Porcupines are pricks.
Not to say he's a prick.
I'll say it.
And I think, you know, there's outside of, you know, your relationship with him, you know, that I feel that there's some clashing views on how things are dealt with in when we are dealing with, you know, combat or trying to solve a problem for someone. You know, someone wants to take one route and the other wants to take the other, and I you know, it's
Ron, back home, all the other, little ones, when I was little one, they didn't really like me. Not too. It wasn't bad, you know. I don't need people to like me. You know, I do my own thing. I am happy. I have family. You know, sometimes a couple friends, but you know, I don't need everybody to like me. But the people who didn't like me, they just didn't like me. You know, nothing I could do could change their mind. So why would I try? And it's the same thing with Max. Why would I try to make him like me? He saw me as annoying pet that he was forced to keep, even though, you know, I just was there because I wanted
Listen,
to be there.
I can't
And
speak
he
for
looked me
him.
bad. No. I want to say this.
Okay.
If he changed mind, he should have said something. But he didn't say anything. And how am I supposed to deal with that? Suddenly I have to change how things are with me.
No.
Because
No.
he changed. Well,
No. You don't have to change a thing. I promise you,
now I
Tandor.
have to be responsible for his feelings. When, you know, we were you know, traveling together. We were doing our own thing, one at a time, you know, and now we're friends, and that changes things. You know, the people who make noises behind your back, you don't mind them, you know, but the people who make noises to your face, you listen. So things changed. He moved in front of face, you know?
He did.
But he didn't say that. And now he's mad at me. And even though I'm mad at him, I'm the one who messed up. I should see these things.
I don't think that the blame can be all. It cannot be your burden to carry, Tandor. Not all of it.
Burden to carry.
It's not your boulder to carry upon your back. It's not something you should do alone. I think that this boulder is split in half and you're both carrying it. It's heavy. And maybe he just doesn't know how to communicate with people either. I can't speak for him, Tandor, but again, I don't think he would be here if it weren't for you. And
I think that's why he's mad. Well,
What can I do? How
Tandor-
can I help, Tandor?
well, Tandor just goes whelp and leaps off of the
Making the swing just like go like.
Yeah, you're
whew!
flying.
Oh, it's. I need an athletics check so I can hop off of it gracefully.
Sparkle. Athletics to hop off.
Face
acrobatics
plants. Just doesn't have any boots on. That's probably why she's not wearing any boots. So she just kind of slips and just face plants, falling off of the thing.
Ron,
Yeah.
it was really nice talking to you. I enjoy our friendship we have. But I think I need to fight this man.
Wait, before you do that, I want to say I right back at you, Tandor. I do consider
you
you
want
a
to fight
friend.
me?
No, I'm
Oh,
no. I'd rather be on your side of the fight.
we can fight if you want. I have no problem.
Well, if you want to practice, I don't have a problem with this either.
What is practice?
Oh, have you not practiced fighting with someone?
No. Only fight.
Only like it's kind of like how we fought the kids at the little Pathfinders, except I am not a child.
Visible confusion.
It's called sparring, Tandor. It's how you keep your skills up. It's how you stay in
fight,
practice.
but not to kill.
Right. Or are you planning on killing me?
No.
Are you?
Should I?
No, please. Please don't.
Okay. I won't kill you.
You won't kill Max, will you?
I don't know if it's spar. I don't know.
I just hope that it doesn't come to a spar.
I don't want to kill anybody, okay?
Mm.
I just want to make that clear. I don't want to snuff candles.
Would
If I need to do, I need to do. But you know, it depends on him. But I do know I need to fight this man.
Are you sure fighting right out of the? How would you say this? Right out of the. Why would you start with fight? Is that what you're going to do? Approaching him is fight? Hey, Max, let's just punch in face. Is that your plan?
No.
Okay. Good.
You think to just go up and hug? You see what he does.
Oh, so
I will get candle snuffed if I do.
okay. So the plan is you're not going to talk, not hug. You're going to punch.
Well, fight. I mean, not you know. Tandor's trying really hard to find words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Are you
to
speaking
get the
metaphorically?
pomegranate, you need to crack it.
Okay. You're not talking physically, maybe more so metaphorically. Yes?
Maybe.
Okay.
You know, but you can't get to the sweets without getting through the outside.
Rowan's face, she looks like she's analyzing the words and nodding. But doesn't look confused. She's just, processing the tenderisms and... Okay, yes. So, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to...
You need fire to boil the soup, to make the soup.
Oh, yes. Otherwise you have cold, icky soup.
Just have raw meat.
Mm.
So you need violent fire.
Rowan looks at
Create
Ixon,
good.
who's just like floating peacefully and happily, just staring derpy-eyed, like, violent fire?
Tandor puts a paw to their chest. Violent fire.
Mm.
You need that to make good soup.
Well, I leave this to you. We talked. I have some insight, and I hope that that things can go well with the fighting and the violent violence that will hopefully solve things.
Thank you, Rowan.
Of course,
You were
Tandor.
very helpful.
Well, I try where I can.
Tosses mushroom at you.
Catches it with mouth. Hold on, can I roll something?
Oh, you gotta do okay, hold on. We need to figure out if it's good or bad.
That's a good question. Roll me a D100.
Just out of
And
instinct.
I will roll some physical dice on my end, and if you meet or beat, well, that'll be a surprise for me. Do, 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 do.
Who's rolling? I'm not rolling. Am I rolling
Uh,
the D100?
No, Rowan's rolling a D100.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your target number for bad. Oh, that's bad. So it's not a good one. It is spicy, so you can give me that fortitude save. Thank you. You wretch when you feel the sort of badness.
Why did I do
Why
that?
would you do that?
I don't know. It's
Why
just
would you do that?
Icar and I used to throw the pieces of bread at each other and see who could
Oh
catch it,
my
and it was a
God.
reflex. Oh. Anyway.
You hairless ones are so fucking weak. Why would you do that? Oh my God, that's my fault. That's me. I shouldn't have
Rowan's
done that.
mouth is watering. Anyway, I think that we did good talking. Thank you so much for coming out here. I think I'm gonna lay down on this swing for a moment, and then I suppose we should get ready soon. Yes.
Well, you gotta go eat real food eventually. Lay down for a bit, but I will see you back at the tree.
Tandor,
Yeah.
maybe you should carry me to the tree, please. Please. I promise I won't
Okay.
get sick. I just, it's fine. I'm fine.
Literally picks you up under one arm like an unruly cat.
Rowan's just kind of limp. Just, that was not fun. No good.
Alright, any other interactions at the manor, or will we be heading off on the road?
No other interactions.
No other
for
interactions.
Tandor, if no
I
one
actually,
wants to interact with
I have a
Oh,
question.
Yes.
Kima would have been out in the woods meditating.
Mhm.
Yes.
Can I roll something to see if I could have heard this conversation?
oh.
That is a good question. You can give me a perception check.
If that's the case, there was something that Rowan meant to say to Tandor about something that's lore.
Yes, I am satisfied about it.
Say the extra thing, so we have the context.
So at some point before getting sick, after Tandor thanked Rowan for the talk and everything, and Rowan expresses, I'm here for you, and this is why we're here. I don't want you to have to lose someone like I have. This is not what I would. It's not a pain that I would wish upon anyone. I will help you do for your grandmother what I couldn't or was not able to do for my mother. Which is kind of soft.
Little backstory hints. We get the fast forward, zoop, 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 and then we have the pan up the camera into the tree to see Chemo and some of the upper branches.
Has heard everything.
Perfect.
Yes. Right. Right, and that does mean we do eventually get back onto the road. Out and onward. A time to refresh, reflect, renew. Day pass. Much to the aid and health and wellness to the Fireflies. Curious tales, new friends, odd interactions to carry in memory. But it will be only a short few days until the next stop at another village nearby. It'll be about 3 days' journey. Does anyone want to do anything or have any plans in that meanwhile? If not, then I can give us our bit of pause before we move on to our next big scene.
Anybody? No?
Um, Chemo would have been very quiet so far in this part of the journey, and writing in his book a lot.
This is definitely not chemo activity, or well, it is honestly him writing, but
Whoa, chemo writing? Oh my
no,
God.
yeah, no.
The writing is not surprising, but
Mhm.
he is also not like he's not ignoring anybody, but he's also not starting conversations.
I want to pick up on that, but not really take it to heart. I'm assuming that most of us are quite quiet during the
Max
trip.
is doing the protagonist stare off into the distance.
Brooding.
I want to know
Can you show
if
me?
chemo
Mhm.
is if I can catch chemo looking at me.
You don't need to roll. No,
Okay.
he's not looking at almost anything other than his book.
Okay. Tandor is pretty quiet for the ride. Is doing a lot of like as a stim, wrapping hands like Muay Thai style and unwrapping them.
I think Rowan would be near Ikar. Maybe they're playing cards or something. Or I don't know. Quietly, because everybody else is quiet.
You could cut the tension with a knife.
Just
Oscar has to deal with this shit.
quietly gambling.
Of course. Well, how about we take our first little break, and we can move on in a bit.
Yeah.
Give a
Cool.
quick fiver.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah. There. The talk, and I tried to bring back some, descriptive stuff for, the stuff we talked about way back when. The gazebo and the willow tree and the swinging on it. Yeah.
good shit.
Get your snacks, get your water. We're gonna have a lot of fun at the spot I have available next.
I'm very glad that you said the line, Beans, about being treated more like a pet.
Ah,
That was rough.
that was so
That's one of
rough.
those like, oh, they're gonna hate Max now because that is totally
Rowan
how
had to
he
bite.
sees it.
Yeah, Rowan had to bite her tongue. Rowan was. Ugh.
All the homies are now aware that you're a bitch.
Now?
You're a bitch to Tandor, but also Tandor is not like the good guy at all. Just in there and be like, yeah, I used him equally. Like that's so fucked up.
It's not even news to Ika because Max said it last session.
Yup.
It's like, yeah, it feels like I have to do this. I'm not wanting to do this. I've gotta.
Oh, it's so,
So I feel like
so
Rowan's like,
rough.
he wouldn't be here if it, I don't know. It's almost like. So on one coin for Rowan, she's doing this for Tandor and is having to do something she doesn't want to do, but that's really, she's dealing with it.
Yeah, but you're saying he wouldn't be here if it weren't for you, knowing that he's not exactly happy about being here, is like,
Yeah.
oh, this is your fault. And
No,
it's like,
yeah. Rowan was
yeah.
trying not to make it seem that way, but more so like, she wanted to view it as like if he didn't care, he wouldn't be here, and he cares a lot about you. So if you weren't here, Like, he wouldn't be with this group of misfits. Like, he wouldn't care for us.
Yeah, that's not at all. That's not how it was read.
Mm. See, Rowan's bad at communication. She's...
Rowan's not bad at communication. Rowan just does not understand
Oh, yeah, for
the
sure.
situation.
Well, it's also Tandor and Max have been around each other so much they take the worst possible outcome
Yeah.
of any situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rowan's just...
Because it's something that Max teaches. Always assume the worst intent.
I don't know. Rowan's neither here nor there. She's kind of like...
It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Not great,
good.
gang.
Like, even though what Rowan said definitely made Tandor feel worse in the end, Tandor knows that it was not Rowan's intention. That, you know.
Well, I'm
she
glad
was
she didn't
trying
call...
to make things
I'm glad that Tandor didn't call Rowan a bitch over it.
No, it's just like
So-
you're sitting there going, "Oh, well, you know, he wouldn't be here if it weren't for you." Like trying to boost, you know, the situation. It's like, okay, so you confirmed my worst thought that it's my fault. Okay.
Mm.
And then you're like, "Oh, well, you know, friends and love and all that." And it's like, I'm not his friend. Like you just don't get it. Like,
It's
I've never been
because
his friend.
Rowan has heard Max say that he's the only reason he's here is for Tandor, and that to her, when she hears that, having not really, like, I won't reveal too much on Rowan's end, but hearing that, it sounds positive to her. It's something like,
no, Tandor is not taking that positively just
Mm.
because, again, Tandor feels like the lost puppy that
Mhm.
Max is burdened with.
yeah,
So when it's like, well, I'm only here because you, it's like, it's the feeling one gets when somebody takes in a puppy that they find on the street,
Mm.
and then immediately they have a bunch of health problems,
Mm.
and it's like, you have to do it. It's not something you want to do. Like that's the energy that. So it's like, I get what you're saying. I
Yeah.
totally do. And if it were anybody else, that would be nice. But this is Max, so I feel worse. But I understand you're trying to make it better.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
also, again, Tandor is very autistic, so the things that
Yeah.
you're saying are very literally taken, and
Mhm.
it's your fault, Tandor. This is all your fault. And it's just like,
I'm glad though that Tandor
gonna
knows
fight him.
Rowan's intent is
yeah.
not ill, you know.
But they're definitely taking it to heart.
Yeah.
And that's why wrapping hands Muay Thai style, because I have to fight this man. The only way that we can get on even footing is when we're in combat. Fun little backstory, fun little exposition. I will be right back.
Yeah, I got a fun little meme for you guys.
Good name.
Yeah, it's nice and quick. Nice and quick. Whipping up in the middle of
This is why we're a team, Ikar.
Hell yeah.
We should just, you know, just stop sticking our nose. But this is our group.
Yeah, no, this is not sticking our nose. This is just smelling the shit that's in the air.
It is. It's quite shit.
It's like sticking your nose in the shit and then smearing it further. That's what it is.
Shit
Like in the movie
stash.
Predator.
I
Exactly.
don't want the shit stash.
So we've got people who fail to communicate at all,
Mm-hmm.
people who try to do it and fail,
Mm-hmm.
and the person whose need to communicate has caused all of these problems.
Oh man. Communication.
Truly, chemo is the catalyst of our growth.
Oh no.
Ah, yes.
Hey,
Gang of vampires getting a new victim where you crack open a boy with the cold ones.
Yes.
What time is it? Yeah, let me go ahead and feed my cat right quick.
Could have done it at the start of the break. Shaking
Yeah,
my
you
head.
could have done it then. Too late now.
Yep, cat got to starve.
I say 5 minutes, but it's actually 10, so it's just to give a slight sense of agency.
No, it must be exactly 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Gives me more time to check on these dragons.
Ooh.
My flappy dragons.
Flappy dragons.
Flappy dragons.
Sounds like a
yes.
euphemism.
it does.
No, no.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, check on your flappy dragons. What kind of dirty shit are you doing?
Mobile game
Ah.
with over 200 dragons.
The fucking pegnog is so bad.
But did it make you laugh?
No, it made me horrified.
That is also acceptable.
Just as good, really.
Minor adverse effects for drinking a liter of that. I'm pretty sure most folks would have adverse effects from drinking a liter of milk in general.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's probably just the dairy.
Okay,
Cowards.
I'm back.
God, we were waiting.
So
Oh my
sorry, the missile was
God.
hungry.
Oh my god.
We don't even know if Travis is here. To be fair.
What did you say, Riley?
We don't even know if Travis is here.
Ah. Save that tone
Careful.
for Travis. Beans.
Yeah, I'll be able to maintain the energy when he comes back.
Hey Riley,
If he ever does.
is my mic still crisp like you were saying it was? Because I reinstalled Windows. I don't know if it messed with my shit.
Not noticeably any more crisp than I remember it being.
Crisp.
So for the record, Travis has been kind of here
Uh-huh.
in terms of being able to listen this
Oh
entire
my
time.
God,
but
Trav.
not-
There
able
it
to
is.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Just
well,
eavesdropping.
Yeah, I'm dealing with my dumbass dogs.
Yeah, I had to go check on Finn. He will not come in.
right. Well, let me give something that I'm sure folks have been waiting for a long while.
Yeah, I have been. Whatever it is.
Leshy?
The road and the way opens up as you make your trek down into the valley below. A fertile field of flowers, trees, farms, and little homes dotted all around. What is oddly most comforting is that there doesn't seem to be much in terms of the conventional kinds of people here. Little bodies of flora mixed with a variety of sizes, ones of fur, feathers, scales, intermingle as they go along the days. This is Kukulat, the place where natural spirits find their home, to take on new vessels in the cycle of life or awaken the mind in the life of an animal. You are free to find whatever you wish to do here during your stay. The
This-
scent of leaves, fruits, and flowers on the breeze.
Leshies don't live long, but they reincarnate in a sense, right?
They go through a cycle, yes.
Okay. Can I roll society or something up to see if there is a Leshy that would have known Godfather Tapman?
Let's see. You can give me society. That would technically be something in
Or
regards
history?
to this village.
Or
There is no history. That is
Okay.
technically society, since given your
Mm,
location.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
And you said there's also a lot of awakened animals here?
Yes.
Okay.
So with a 24, as I see this. Okay. Ah, okay, yes. With a 24, given that you do know that Leshies happen to change vessels now and then, it would probably take a bit of time to sort of locate out some possible signs of things, but you do know. Let's see, with the 24, okay, you can give me one objective for what you're trying to find in that regards to that.
So Rowan knows about the stories with the, how the home, the Pandora and Rocco's home was made. It was the Leshies and Rocco and Tatman. Tatman had a connection with the Leshies at some point, right? For some reason.
He was able to learn a variant of the reincarnation ritual, which
Right.
would allow him to slowly awaken
Rowan
later in life.
knows this and has, in her time of learning what she knows, in honor of her, godfather Vrucht and Tatman, wants to take on, just wants to learn some things from the folks who taught them things, and hear stories.
Okay. Well, then you know from at least a long, long while ago is that there is a name that you can follow through that some Leshy do happen to take, who were some of the first to be sort of newly awakened from that particular era, and they may have had progeny or spirits have cycled back through from that, and you are looking for Leshies which may have taken a surname of Taproot.
So I know the name Taproot.
You would know Taproot as sort of a legacy.
Okay. Well, then Rowan's gonna do that. Rowan's exploring this village because most of the Leshy are kind of small. She's like kind of, her knees are bent and she's walking around like that. Whether or not anybody wants to acknowledge this goofy looking ass doing that.
I'll give a look, but I won't say anything.
Yeah,
I'll
mine's
just
the
let it
same.
fly.
Just trying not to intimidate them. Just kind of waving and giving a smile and maybe looking for one that is maybe standing around or doesn't seem busy so she can ask about Taproot.
Let me just double check.
Oh, and she would say to everybody, have any of you ever seen a Leshy or met Leshies?
Many times.
Really? Well, where we were just staying in Bears Bay, they helped grow that house, the home, the manor. If it weren't for them, there would be no home there.
Yeah, it's crazy. We were talking to one of them literally as we started this adventure.
Well, you didn't know the fact that they helped grow the tree. I was just, throwing that in there for the spice.
I actually didn't know that. And scribble something in his book.
We did meet a Leshy, didn't we, at the beginning?
I'm happy for you, or I'm sorry that happened.
Sorry, what happened?
That.
Head tilt. Thank you and thank you, I think. I don't
Welcome.
know. Just nods blankly. Are we just passing through? Because I'd like to maybe find a Leshy, or more than one, maybe, by the name of Taproot.
Look, if you wanna stick around here for a little bit, I'm sure there's gonna be somewhere that has some sort of substance I can partake of some description,
Substance
like a
as in food.
plant tavern.
To the bar.
I'm sure they have something of something. I've not been here. This is new for me. Or is
Rocky, do the Leshy use a written language really?
They do use sort of they do know Fae, as when they do have to use particular signage, but for the most part they use a different language when conveying things on sort of an exterior that they seem to be quite in tune of, a language of flowers.
Chemo and Rowan know Faye.
Chemo then puts his book away into his bag.
Rowan
As we
notices
start
that he
to walk in.
finally puts it away. Kind of walks toward closer to Chemo. So, in Faye, because they're in the Leshy village. How are you? Is everything okay? You were quiet during the trip. I mean, everyone kind of was, but feels a little out of the ordinary for you.
Oh, I'm fine. I have heard stories of Pandora and Morocco,
Yes.
but I had never met them.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything.
You know, you didn't properly meet Pandora when we visited Gillig all those years ago. Did you? No, you must not
No.
have. No.
I didn't meet her at all.
No,
I only met you.
that's right. Yes, you're
In
more
fact,
than...
I'm pretty sure you were making a very big point to stay away from her at that time.
Ah, yes, I was. At that age, I didn't want to be around anybody. You were good company.
What can I say?
Well, I'm glad you finally met them, and I'm sure that they'd be happy to see you again.
I hope it gets to happen, but in case it doesn't, I try to write down literally everything about them and everything that we talked about, and everything about the tree,
Mm.
and everything about the Pathfinder school.
Well, if there's anything else that you want to know about Bears Bay, or I've heard the stories. I mean, probably I know a lot of people have heard the stories, but I've heard firsthand things that you may not have heard in Terra Monstorum. So who knows?
Careful offering that, because I'm going to take you up on it. It's going to take a lot of your time. But not for right now. Not in this place.
So yes, this place is not one of the. This is the place that you explore, have conversations, and find the taproot.
I don't understand your fascination with them, but sure, I'm along for the ride.
Well, have you heard the name Tapman? This is not Fade now.
Yeah,
Tapman.
but
Mhm.
these aren't them. And many of these creatures realistically, spiritually predate Tapman.
Yes, but do you know if they're, how would you say this, reincarnation? How they continue to live through this ritual of coming back. I don't know. They would probably explain this better. These Leshy with the surname Taproot would probably have memories of Tapman. More than likely. have memories of him.
Maybe.
Well, that's what I want to know. I
That
think
part was all in common, you said, right?
the last bit about Tapman.
Tapman.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that discussion. So, what about Ikar? Any particular motion that you're going?
I'm along for the ride. I'm looking around a lot because all these folk kind of match my tone, but they're very very different. I've seen Leshy before, but never in quite an abundance and variety.
And Riley is off to find a tap room or a tap house.
Plant pub.
Plant Pub! Like fucking A Bug's Life. Or was it
I
Ants?
actually think Chemo would be going with Max for that.
And Tandor.
I'm towering over probably all these houses, or just barely.
A majority, but there are some larger houses for those who happen to have larger figures as. Actually, figures larger than you. On the occasion that there is an awakened bear or something like that.
Okay, so, are like the streets or whatever? Are they just like teeming with Leshy?
Not teeming, no, but sort of like, the common folk. It's majorly leshy with a few awakened animals here and there.
Okay. Would they be very like slow, relaxed, calm, like country life, or would they be like more bustling just based off of like the size of the village?
They are. This is a welcome to Hobbiton situation. This is a slow country life.
Okay, so if Tandor was walking without paying attention, they might squish somebody.
They're a bit more hardy than that, and because they've had to deal with sort of larger ones, they have the awareness to be able to let a larger folk pass
Okay.
before moving on their way.
So that's what I wanted to do, was I just wanted to walk through town without paying attention. Not paying attention, but not being actively cautious, you know? Understanding quickly that they're getting out of the way and just being like, oh, okay, this is fine.
Yeah.
Which comes off very rude, but it's just sort of like, well, they're moving out of the way. Why would I? Yeah, if me slowing down or stopping it might injure them, then I'm just gonna keep going. And just kind of walk around, check out the place. Rowan and Chemo were talking in weird fucking languages I don't understand. Max Mix, ran off and Chemo followed. Just, I guess, wander off alone.
Okay. Ikar,
Oh.
which side of things are you going? Are you going towards Plant Pub? Are you off to probably also see a taproot, or are you going to take a full wander of the place?
Iker likely would have much interest in old dead fucks. He'd be in the plant pub.
Okay, cool. All right, then Rowan, Max, and Tandor, can you roll me a d20 each? We'll see exactly what order we'll be taking these scenes.
Sheesh.
We're taking it from the top with Tandor. So, as you do sort of have a walkthrough, you definitely do sort of get that feeling that this was definitely something that started as something made for creatures probably about half your size. You would more than definitely be scraping your head on the ceilings of most of these homes. So it seems to be that there is sort of like a natural piece to this area. There is life brimming and a plethora of curious flowers and more of all smells, as it's like some are sweet, some are spicy, and some are floral. Is there a particular scent that takes you as you sort of have that wander through?
Probably after like the wisteria and all of that, and various spicy things and whatnot. I think I'm gonna go with sweet.
Sweet. Alright, eventually you do find a sort of a leshy tending to sort of a larger cauldron. Their form sort of quite leafy, and you see that on their body are sort of little black and red spots. And upon closer inspection, those are berries. And now and then they'll pick off a berry, throw it into sort of the pot and sort of mash it against the side, and that sort of sweet scent of fruit and pectin sort of ekes out anew. And eventually, when they see you sort of looking and watching, they will stir sort of at the rim a bit more vigorously into the center, and then sort of give a little scoop with a ladle somewhere, and proffer.
That means they offer it to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like the ladle must be the tiniest little teaspoon to Tandor.
It would be like maybe about half a cup of liquid.
Oh, okay. Takes the gentlest sip. Nods. And then without saying anything, because Tandor knows not good at word. So just takes out the ingredients bag, and pulls out the spices and various other things, and lays them out next to the leshy, and makes a motion for like, go on, grab whatever you want or need, if you need anything, but not like encouraging, just sort of like, oh, I want to help. The intent is not to say that their
Yes.
food is shit, it's to be
Yes,
like,
yes.
it's good. Do you want anything? I want to help. Yeah.
Yeah, I am looking for something particular here. Ah, yeah, okay. And they'll pause for a little while. They'll point to some of the more curious herbs you've got, and even at a couple of the mushrooms. And will push a mortar and pestle towards the ingredients.
Tandor starts picking apart, removing the leaves off of the stems of the herbs. Like motions like good enough for the herbs and the mushrooms and stuff. Seeing, do I cut the mushrooms, like making hand signals and stuff. Just basically full non-verbal communication, sometimes, grunts or like, musical sort of kind of things.
There's more like a press when pointing at the mushrooms, and then sort of like a sweep when it comes to the herbs. But before you sort of get to that, they're sort of like pointing out various herbs and sort of kind of showing you what was in the pot beforehand.
Oh, okay. Little okay sign, wink. Just like starts pressing down the mushrooms. Doing the motions that, following along, very much like two grandmas who don't speak the same language, cooking the same dish. just enjoying the time and motioning, to the cauldron, pointing to, the body and like making hand signals to be like how much of, basically saying like how much of berries and then the herbs that were put in and
Yep.
things like that.
And they'll sort of, be able to sort of like give like a little sweep off to the side and sort of eventually sort of get sort of the amounts right and motion for when to put in for what, and even let you take over the stirring for a little while.
I guarantee that this Leshy had to physically grab my hands to show me how to stir.
It's more like sort of, scrape the side and then circle into the center for a little bit,
Yeah.
then scrape the side, circle to the center.
Tandor always looking at this Leshy like, am I good? Am I doing it good? Just like, I just love this scene so much. This is so cute.
Yep. And eventually there's sort of like it eventually taps the end of the cauldron and sort of like tries to say to, sweep off to the side with it, just making sort of a little grasp at the edges.
Okay, puts it off, takes it off the fire.
And then sort of motions at sort of the center towards you again, and then taps at sort of, it has no mouth from what you can tell. But sort of taps sort of where the mouth area is.
Okay. Takes a new spoon, dips it in, and tastes it.
Yep. It sort of is like that sort of slightly savory mushroom taste, but it has sort of that sweet raspberry, blackberry, syrupy umptuous over it. It's like a mushroom steak kind of flavor, but with sort of like a good jam, sort of sweet jam to it. And you sort of close your eyes, sort of take a moment and sort of think. And still checking here.
I'm
And
gonna get a recipe out of this, out of nonverbal communication.
you are,
Hell yeah!
and you're sort of tasting it, and sort of when you sort of open your eyes again, you're not seeing down at the Leshy again. Your eyes are a bit more directly forward at the pot, and the sort of ladle spoon in your hand is a lot bigger than it was before. Tandor, you're about 2 feet tall right now.
Oh my god.
Maybe on the
amazing.
edge of 3 feet.
He's got Alice in
my
Wonderland.
Oh my god. Tandor makes a yelp, which now sounds probably high pitched. And is just like giggling, like full hyena giggling, at how awesome this is.
I have added the shrinking jam to your formulas.
Amazing. I grabbed the Leshy's hands.
And they are sort of like level to you. This is very interesting.
And just kind of like holds hands and like does like very like deep nods and whatnot. And just be like, thank you. This is awesome. And motions for hug.
And there is a sort of a very leafy hug, and you do hear a slight squish though.
Oh no!
And you will have a berry stain on you.
Aww. I love this Leshy. I don't need to know their name. I don't need to know anything about this. That was so sweet. And I guess after that, as long as the energy is good, and like I'm free to go basically.
Yep.
I'm going to try and track down the pub because I want to terrorize everybody with this.
Of course. All right. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that. Thankfully, that's not the most immediate scene. So next we move on to Rowan.
Yeah.
It does take a little bit of asking around. Can you give me a society check right quick to see exactly how long that might take?
Sure. 3 on the
Not-
die.
I mean, if If you
fuck
would
it.
like to change that, you okay. Cool. It's maybe only about 20 minutes to sort of get directed to the right location, given sort of how these paths are sort of moving on and around. And eventually you are directed to what's probably more like, what would be sort of like a more mayoral estate. Sort of
Oh.
an elder situation. So apparently they hold a higher position to it. And there is what looks to be sort of a leshy, sort of with a more sort of purpley red kind of head. Their leaves, long sort of leaves, sort of tied back up the top that sort of drape down in sort of a curious ponytail kind of fashion as they are sort of rooting around in one of the gardens.
Hmm. Rowan, I guess, is going to approach the Leshy. And, well met, little leafy one. No longer bent knees.
Mm-hmm. Met to yourself as well. Not often we get your kin in this way, especially under this tongue. What brings you here?
Well, my companions and I were just passing through. Whilst I'm here, though, I had hoped to be pointed in the direction of a Leshy, or, if there's more than one, Leshy who bear the name Taproot.
I am Ratisi Taproot.
Oh! Okay. Hello. My name is Rowan. Rowan
If
Yamri.
I know a Yamri,
Which one might that be?
well, they visited a long time ago, and, well, I was not Ratisi then.
Who are you then, Ritisi?
Uh-oh. Well, while I was... then I was, Palsternaka.
Balsternaka.
But thankfully the vessel was very similar. Ratisi is very similar.
Mm.
It's... And sort of holds up a parsnip, and then holds up a radish, and gives a shrug.
Wait, what? Oh, God. Rowan stifles a laugh.
And then you do understand that the semblance that the Leshy does have a radish-like head.
Yes. Those are those for consuming, or are you planting more Leshy?
Oh, these are not for vessels. No, these are
Oh, okay.
these are for mulching.
I thought they might have been your kin.
No, they do very well in sugars, and they feed that which feeds well. I mean, you have to get sort of the yeast and the good gut fauna, as some of your folk call it.
Yes, well, I'm not interrupting anything, am I? I was hoping to...
No.
Good. Rowan just kind of like looks around. How tall is this Leshy?
Given that all Leshy are at small size, they are maybe like 3'5".
Okay. Rowan's 5 foot fuck all ass just looks around and then just kind of plops down, crosses her legs, and sits in front of him.
And you said you had friends, but looks like you came on your own.
Oh, yes, I think they made their way to a pub or something. I'm not interested in drinking at the moment.
If they knew which way the branches went, then they will likely be heading towards the eclipse.
The eclipse? Okay. Well, I guess I'll know where to go after we have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The eclipse. Okay. So, Taproot. Retisi, you said?
Yes.
What do you know of the name Tapman?
Oh, well, when I was before, that was when I took up the name, and I was one of the first. Probably within the second year or so. A ritual takes time. You can maybe only do one or two every month or two.
When you say a ritual, do you mean the one for the house or for when my grandparents got married?
Or when we were guided to our vessels.
Oh! That ritual as well, yes. Sidebar, did the Leshy helped with... Yes, Leshy did help with the ceremony. So, as you know, my grandparents there, Pandora, Rocco, and of course you knew of Tapman and Vrucht, I'm sure.
We are familiar.
So, in my time learning the arts, I guess in their honor, have been studying at learning things that they had known before my time. Tapman was a healer, yes? And I was hoping to maybe learn something from the taproots, something he might have passed on.
We do have some of his writings still. You will mayhap... Well, I guess with my permission and knowing of your name, you would have relative ease to access there. It does depend upon if you are looking for a particular art or not. There is the Rising Temple and the Setting Temple. The Rising Temple is a bit more restorative in its nature. The Setting Temple is more proactive in ending situations.
Well, I was hoping for... Was the thing we talked about divine? Is it divine? It's definitely restorative.
Yes.
I think the Rising Temple is where I would like to go.
Give them your name, they will likely point you towards the archives. You'll be looking towards more of the first sets of writing. It's more of a chronicle of what they knew from beginning to end. You'll likely find the most potent restoratives in the early chapters.
And you said that he wrote them?
In his own way, I believe that his companion helped edit to make them a bit more easy to understand.
Rowan's like smiling, and you can... the less you might see in her eyes that it's a bit emotional hearing that she'll get to read writings from Tapman, who she had just barely seen before his passing. So she reaches out a hand and, thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
Is there anything I can help you with, Ratisi, before I head to the Rising Temple?
You can pass on this parcel onto the Setting Temple after.
Okay. I can do this.
Yes.
Mm,
If you are to see one, you should see the other.
I think that's a good idea. Also, I heard that the Leshy give names. I don't think I was ever told what Tapman was called. I know Vrucht was called, I think, Green Thumb. Who was
The Green Thumb.
the Green Thumb? And my grandfather, Rocco, Treebeard, or something else. There was two they gave him, and I always wondered what Tapman's was.
Opasta Valo.
Opasa div
Opastava Valo.
Opastava Valo. What does it mean? In
Guiding light. It is the way that we sort of knew him. It was when we were as spirits floating what we were. We did see what we saw. It was a light to bring us to the vessel.
It's quite fitting. Thank you so much. I will pass along this parcel and see both temples. Rowan smiles, nods, and goes on her way.
Mm-hmm. And now we move on to Plant Pub.
Yay!
Plan pub, plan pub, plan pub.
Plant Pub. Eventually, there are some establishments, but the one that is of most note is the Eclipse. And it's the Eclipse Tap Room.
There's this spelled with
With-
2 E's.
It is spelled with 2 P's.
Amazing.
And Max, you would definitely see that it is sort of an establishment that's passed back and forth, and there is a lot of different shades and shapes of various imbibes and is passed around. And the one serving at the end is what looks to be sort of a more woody sort of fellow, an oaken leshy. And they are sort of every now and then hauling a barrel or extending an arm just a little bit extra to grab something and wipe down a table.
Hey, pal, don't suppose you've got any substances of a non-plant sort that I could partake in?
There's a pause. You looking for meat?
Or something more along the lines of, ales or liquors or something
I'll
of
take
that
meat.
nature.
I hate to break it to you, but a lot of ales are made from plants.
No, I mean like that they're viable to consume by non-plants.
All the same by the end of it, but if you are wanting something a little less rich in minerality, we have that available.
Yeah, something like that, if please.
Mm-hmm. Any particular flavor, sensation, or are you just wanting to get knocked flat on your tail?
The latter, yeah.
Alright, bit more premium. It will be a whole gold piece, but you'll have the bottle.
Sounds like a plan to me.
And they eventually sort of duck down and they come back up with this bottle, and it looks like water. They will pop the top of it and pour it into a small cup and slide it to you.
Now, is this for sipping or is this for shotting?
Depends how quick you want on your ass.
Yeah, that's fair enough, and he's gonna shot it.
Welcome to your plant equivalent of Everclear.
Hey.
So, very high proof. It does not have much flavor at all, and it is immediately heady. Can you please give me a fortitude saving throw? Thank you.
You can blow fire with it. 190 proof.
You cool with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Good. It hits you. You almost tilt in your seat. But wasn't lying, and you got the whole bottle. It's probably safer to either mix this with something else or sip on it. But it's yours. Now, the rest of the group, that means Ikar and Chemo, probably going in shortly after. What, where, and whose?
So I mean, do we see Max sitting at a table?
You eventually see him sitting at the bar.
Okay. I'm gonna go plop down next to him.
I'll walk in and look around. Are there any awakened animals present?
Let's see. Can you give me a quick perception check?
Yep.
There are definitely a small handful here and there. Are you looking for company of the more land, sea, or air folk?
There's that big a variety?
There's maybe like one or two aquatic, one aerial, and mostly sort of more land-based map.
Yeah, I'd probably be checking out the terrestrial ones. Land-based.
Of the ones that you do see, you see a few rats, a couple badgers, and a mole.
Are they all sitting together?
Oh no, they're sort of like the rats are together, the badgers are together, and the mole is on their own.
Yeah, I would gravitate toward the badgers. And just see what they're about.
Yeah, they
Question,
seem
Rocky?
yes.
The Badgers, are they the fucking horrifying evil
No, they're the
American
European
badgers?
badgers.
Yes, okay, thank you so much.
Now,
We
are there
have-
any swallows there? Birds?
African or European?
Thank you. There you go. Move on.
I was about to say no, only spits. But the avian that is there is more crane in nature. Better yet, it's a secretary bird.
Love those bitches.
I'm glad I asked.
But yeah, the badgers seem to be sort of talking more. They seem to be blue collar in nature. They're sort of going back and forth in sort of in common about a particular project. Digging out for foundation, laying posts, renovations that are coming up in the next week.
Hell yeah. I'm still gonna make my way to the companions, but I'm glad I paid attention to everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit
Well-
down and order some meat and ale, something with bees.
Something with bees?
Ye.
We have honeyed wheat beer. We also have mead, depending upon your.
No,
preference.
bees. When you taste it and it's bean, it's bees. You don't tell them.
Oh. Okay.
What the fuck?
Or rubbed off on people, oh no!
And there's a pause. That. And sort of eventually comes back with sort of a paler ale and passes it to you.
All right. Thank you.
And eventually the oak leshy will go over to Chemo. And you're drinking.
Would I have seen Max purchase this bottle?
You would see a bottle, not have purchased though.
Okay. I just need a glass for what he's having.
And there's a look to Max.
And Chemo fully turns to the side to look at him as well, his entire body facing him.
Can you promise
And-
that you're not gonna go all chemo on this whole Devon?
And just kind of gets real close. Would you rather me be Fithalian?
Not what I meant.
Just looks back at the bartender. Just a glass for what he's having.
And there's almost sort of a lean in. Is he poaching, or do I have to toss him out?
No, it's you know, he's.
You know him.
I know
Gotcha.
him. He's just a bit of a bore.
Yeah,
It's
I get
probably
the-
better that you let him have the alcohol actually, because maybe then he'll start to be interested.
I get the occasional woodpecker as well. And we'll come back with a small glass as well.
Would Max have a glass with any liquid in it currently?
Yeah, he's sipping.
Okay. So then, Kimo will just grab the bottle and fill himself up and start sipping as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Max.
You know, that's all right. Actually, barkeep, do you have any more of these bottles?
I have a name.
Well, you didn't tell me it, so
You didn't ask.
well, yeah. Usually we don't get real close.
What's your name, good sir?
Tammy,
Cammy. That's a beautiful name.
with an
I
I.
do. This is an in-character laugh. I do not hold back at all.
It's Tammy with an I.
Kimo like nudges on Hikar with an elbow. Tammy, it's a fantastic name. Is it a family name? I assume, by the way, Leshies don't do family names, right?
They do.
No, it's just
Sorta,
a name.
Kinda. You said surname, but
Some take surnames.
Mm.
It's like this is just what the vessel is.
Kind of a title.
Gotcha.
Well, I apologize, Tammy, but do you have any more of these bottles?
I don't have that exact bottle. I have ones like it.
Do you have anything even stronger?
Are you asking me if you want to be able to strip varnish?
I
Yeah.
believe Max might want to strip something.
Oh, what
I'll
that's
find
meant to imply, but
I'll
yeah,
find
whatever-
something. I'll
whatever
find
your
something for
strongest
his
thing.
hair to fall out. I'm sure you would appreciate that.
I would.
And we'll go find something about as strong. Another bottle, but this one seems to have like little small black berries, sort of, maybe only about a 1/4 inch in diameter floating in there.
How much do I owe you, Tammy?
This will also be a gold for the bottle.
Oh, geez, Max, big spender. Okay. And hands over a gold piece. Downs the remaining amount of the stuff that Max had.
Thank you, Fortitude save.
Yeah, I know. Get ready, I'm fucking fortituding out of my b-hole.
Don't fortitude.
We're gonna
though.
re-roll
You want
that.
to get drunk. Get drunk. Get drunk.
Not yet. Well, I guess I am gonna take the 17.
I gotta love the t-shirt. So you do take it back, and there is almost sort of like that sort of a lean back as it hits you hard for that particular thing. This thing is almost barely viable for consumption. You could probably clean a wound with this stuff.
And then immediately after getting his senses back, he then pours another glass from Max's bottle and does not open the one he just got.
Lovely.
You know, where was this chemo like for the past however long that we've been traveling?
You know, we haven't really been to that many bars, Max. We've mostly been in basements and creepy crypts and upsetting
Children.
places and
Yes.
children.
Speak for yourself. Me and Ikar have been in 4 distinct taverns.
It's a fact.
Besides, I've never been in a bar with you when I thought you needed cheering up. And he is looking away from Max when he says that. And is taking a sip.
Well, you can believe whatever you want to believe.
And he kind of like side eye looks at Akar when Max says that to see what he makes of it.
I'm kind of looking over at side-eyeing Max at the same time. If that gives any impression.
So Max, is there something bothering you?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, or just... Do you have anything specific?
Well, see, normally you're surly and bristly, but you are talkative, and you have not been talkative lately. You don't seem generally annoyed at everybody's existence.
No, I'm
You
still
seem
annoyed at
specific
everyone's
with it.
existence.
Well, but you seem more upset about something else. So what's your problem?
I mean, that's a pretty extensive list. Not one for in a bar.
I don't know. I feel like bars are great places to talk about things, especially if you're a little bit shy, because the encouragement is available for purchase.
Oh, because I'm not a crybaby bitch that makes it everybody else's problem.
To be a crybaby bitch and make it everybody else's problem.
Emo sits there and just does a little bit of a deep breath. It is okay to be both a crybaby and a bitch. It is even acceptable and understandable to make your problems other people's problems, so long as in the process you're not aiming a gun at somebody.
Oh, we're going
Some
back to the gun
buddies.
thing. I said I'll let you do your thing. Just let me know beforehand. This was like one of the first conversations we had.
I'm not talking about the people that we've had to fight. I'm talking about our friends.
What do you mean, friends?
You know exactly what I mean.
What, your friends?
Max, let me tell you a story.
Oh, kick his ass. With words.
And I'm gonna adapt a poem, because I know you don't like poems.
No, I like poems fine.
Oh? And he fully turns, again, body facing you.
Unravel scroll 25 feet long.
Goes off CVS pharmacy receipt.
You have
Rolls out
successfully...
That, there's a time and a place for them. And I feel like you've got a habit of, choosing the wrong time, the wrong place.
Okay. Well, Max, let me ask you. Timo is completely distracted from what he was trying to do, by the way.
Derailed.
Your poem, or poems, that you like, what is the appropriate time and the appropriate place for them?
You've addressed
You
his
know.
fixation.
When I'm on my own, when I'm with someone I care about.
Romantic poems! And he says this very loudly.
You don't have to care for someone to be it to be romantic. What are you, 5?
And he just turns over to Icarus. And again, loudly. He likes romantic poems.
Eh, eh.
By the
Uh,
crafters, you are bad at this.
while looking over at Icar, can I also do like a perception? Is anybody paying attention to us right now?
There's some people giving some glances just because you're being a little bit
Blue collar
loud.
crowd. Blue collar crowd.
Okay. Well, Max, sorry. I think that is absolutely adorable, especially for somebody like you who is not a little crybaby bitch. Can you tell me one? What's your favorite?
Kind of feels like you're patronizing me.
There's two things that I take very seriously in this world. The first, you find deeply obnoxious, which is trying to make sure you don't just resort to violence as a solution to problems when you can avoid it. And the second is poetry, which up until this exact moment I thought you also found very obnoxious.
No, mostly only when you do it.
So I'm not at all being patronizing. I'm genuinely curious. If it's one that I know, then great, I know what other ones you'll like. If it's one that I don't, and there's a poem that I haven't heard, I want to hear it.
Look, I can't pretend to know any of these new age fangled ones that you're probably all like, oh, this up and coming poet's the next big thing. But there's some classic kobold poems out there.
Yes, from the Great Collection. Now that's what I call limericks.
Max, how old do you think I am?
Fucking ancient, right?
Yeah, so you think I really care that much about modern stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong necessarily.
Exactly. Your
but-
whole thing is like you like learning, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I like forgetting all of the old stuff. Also, everything new owes itself to what has already happened before.
You see, I don't agree with that necessarily.
What do you mean?
Well, that's what invention is. It's creating something new
From
from what you have.
and could you maybe define as what you have as to what has existed before?
Maybe if you're being a dick about it.
Point is, I appreciate poems old and new alike. Also, I don't think any one poem is better than any other one. Art is not a competition.
I disagree.
Well, that's why you're the gunslinger and I'm not.
Exactly. People's guns work better than others. People's mining equipment works better than others. That's all art. Invention is an art. And some people's art is better.
So you mean to tell me that the only reason you're a pretty decent shot with those is because the guns themselves are good and has nothing to do with you?
No, gunslinging is an art. I'm a damn good artist.
Okay. That's an interesting take. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit. Yeah, no, I don't agree. But anyway, I'm gonna give you two choices. One, you can tell me what is really bothering you. Or two, you can tell me a poem that you really like. Now, if you pick one of those two options, because I know that you're going to say option three, some.
Max is already standing up brave.
But if you don't pick one of the two options, I'm going to continue to follow around and annoy you. But if you give me one of the first two, I'll leave you alone.
You know, I hate that you've boiled me down to just that, but you're absolutely right. I'm absolutely choosing option 3.
And at the mention of an option 3, we likely have a door being pushed open with a sizable amount of force. All of a sudden. And a 2-foot-tall furry thing.
Can I get a perception check?
It's
I
gonna
would-
have to be high. I'm
I
skittering.
want to see first.
I'm full skittering.
Sure. Let's get the let's get that perception check.
I didn't see first.
Your gaze was not low enough.
I be perceiving.
Mm-hmm.
Chemo straight up dropped his glass. and like starts hitting Ikar on his shoulder. It's
To which?
Tandor.
Max
Max is
didn't
taking the
proceed?
opportunity of Kimo looking away to start walking away.
Damn. Not even
Uh,
a tiny Tandor will stop him.
Wait, so wait,
So-
Max is walking away and doesn't see what's happening?
Ooh,
Uh,
good question.
Let's have a look if he knows. No, he doesn't see what's happening. He's just walking
Oh,
away
this'll
because your
be
attention's
great.
been taken away.
Well, you have a. I'm sure Tandor has an agenda at the moment, and they are now the size of a chihuahua.
How tall is Max again?
About what is it?
Like 3 foot
I
something?
think he's 3 foot flat.
It
He's,
is.
he's small. He is small.
Small. Where was it supposedly be? Height small. I think it was slightly taller than Ikar.
Like 3'1".
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think
right.
that-
You were an inch taller.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Now, I want to say before we get into whatever's about to happen,
Yes.
Beans,
Yeah.
I expect high-pitched Tandor voice.
Done.
Fuck yes.
Tandor, I think.
A full
skittered
foot
in.
shorter than Max.
Yeah.
So you have ID.
Tandor was like ran towards the plant pub. Basically trying to sniff out the smell of alcohol. Like knowing that
Yeah.
everyone's looking for a bar. I know where everyone's going. The place where
Yep.
alcohol is.
Yes.
What started like, just kind of like walking quickly, and then that turned into full on goblin skittering. And just like like as they were running, because like they're enjoying this so much. Like they are eye level height with most of the other people that they're seeing on the streets, which is like crazy and new. and
Eye
has never
level
been this
or
kind of-
shorter.
Yeah, just crazy new thing. Like this is drugs. This is drugs. And runs into the pub thinking like, I'm going to be so silly to Rowan, to Chemo, whoever. I'm gonna do something silly. Runs in, doing the little laugh, and as Max jumps off the chair, almost runs right into Max and just stops laughing.
Max, someone has misplaced their small furry child. As you have to look down to see Tandor for once. A head shorter than you are.
Sorry, I'm getting out of your way. Don't worry.
Why are you getting out of my way?
Because if I have to listen to a single more moment of chemo, I might end up burning down another establishment.
Does Max continue walking?
He does. He's got the slightest hint of a smile.
The as Max is like brushing past, who is watching this?
Oh, we're fully. Chemo's mouth open, like gawking.
Okay, anyone who is watching this, make a perception check.
Come on, perception.
Okay. You both see almost like that mirage type effect of like heat start boiling up. Like it looks like Tandor is cooking. And
Let them cook.
just like
Chemo
the
just-
fire
Chemo's
is
le-
burning.
Chemo leans over to Icar's like, should we do something?
I wasn't listening to that. I was already hopping off my chair to make room to run up to Tandor and do a chest bump because we can.
This happens very quickly.
Yes.
Okay, so you're running up to do a chest bump.
Mm-hmm.
Tandor kind of just like stands there from like is solid, is not being pushed over, is not paying attention to what you were doing because it's just steaming.
Mm.
What do you mean?
Mm-mm.
What do you mean?
I do my best to drag you to the bar, get you a beer.
Oh no, that doesn't work.
Son of a
Andy,
bitch.
how strong was this drink?
Tandor whips around as Max is like walking out the door basically. And just goes,
Hey!
No cheating.
"What do you mean no cheat? What do you
Let them use it. It's perfect.
I heard that.
cheating what?
The voice filter. Use it.
Continue.
Use it.
Yeah, I'm
use
using the filter.
I would too.
Cheating.
It's not cheating, it's accurate.
Hey!
Does Max keep walking?
He hears it. He is still walking.
Excuse me.
And just starts following after Max, the visible heat getting worse.
Max is walking off the beaten path, deliberately, like away from any of the other buildings.
Tandor keeps walking. Just keeps going, like yelling after him.
Turn around! Fight me! Come here!
I'm not fighting you, Tandor.
Why not?
Because we agreed we wouldn't.
It's fair fight now.
That doesn't matter.
You have problem with me.
Once they're like a sufficient amount of time away from the village, he will turn around.
Tandor is like as close as possibly, like uncomfortably close, and full like stacked kid, you know, like ready to just like you couldn't push this kid down. It's like that kind of stance.
A wide
It's
stance,
just
my
too
guy.
wide for
Yeah,
that.
it's a wide stance, my guy.
Max very much has the disapproving older sibling look because for once he's taller and he's looking down.
I almost want to say it in character, but it's like, when haven't you been looking down on Tandor? Oh!
Say it. Say it, Tandor.
Say it. Do it, coward.
See, now you can do what you always have done.
What's that supposed to imply?
You always treat me like I'm a small dog. Lost, sick. You never looked at me like I was your friend. And then you get mad at me? I should
Yeah.
be the one mad.
We weren't friends.
So why are you mad?
You broke the terms of our agreement.
Because I told you to not hurt someone?
No, I don't give a shit about that. You didn't tell me to do anything. You made me do something. There's one crucial rule that we always followed, and that's that we don't harm each other. And then you went for me.
Not my fault, you're tiny. I didn't mean to hurt you.
But you did. With
Be
intent.
bigger!
That's what I have been doing. I've been the bigger person. Not literally. But I've been taking care of you. I've
When
been
did I
keeping
ever
us
need
safe.
anybody to take care of me? When did I ask you to take care of me?
You never asked, but you needed it. Think about all of the times that I got you out of trouble.
How many times did you get him in trouble?
True.
Shut up, God. You're not here.
I said, Chemo somewhere off in the distance says it to himself.
I lived long life without you taking care of me. If you view me like sick little dog that you are responsible for, then you don't need to be in this position.
But I am
know.
responsible for you.
Because you said?
Because you needed someone to be responsible for you.
Why you say that? Because you think I'm dumb?
No, you've proven plenty of times that you're smart enough.
Oh, so you think I'm weak?
No, you've proven plenty of times that you can, bench press a house.
So why do I need someone to be responsible for me?
You're a trouble magnet.
And you're not?
No, I'm not. I always kept myself out of trouble. I always get people out of situations.
Did they ask? Or did you decide they needed their help?
They did need my help. In the
But
times
did they
where
ask?
it doesn't matter if they
It
ask
does
or not.
matter.
I don't think it does.
So when I hit you to stop you from getting in trouble, because Kimo was going to be mad at you, and someone would be dead, I'm bad guy. But when you point gun at me, at Ron, that's not problem. You're the fixer.
I'm
Who's
not saying
responsible for you?
I'm not saying what I did was okay. But you gotta remember, you broke the rule.
Someone needs to be responsible for you too.
Yeah, and that person's me.
Well, you better start doing it.
I am doing it right now.
Tandor pushes him.
Let's get a athletics check right quick. And this will be versus Max's Fortitude DC.
Would I be raging?
Would you be raging at this point in time?
I was already so close to raging.
Have you been pushed over the edge to want that? Is the question.
I think if I'm pushing him, I'd be raging.
All right.
The most adorable little rage.
So tiny. This is probably not gonna hurt him, I think. Is there like a penalty
no,
for
no.
size that you gotta apply to me?
Don't worry about that. I'm already taking that to account to the circumstance stuff. Let's see. 29. Versus that plus the penalty for size. That would be Max. You are pushed back about 5 feet from that.
5 feet?
Yeah, 5 feet. There is still some
Damn.
oomph. I never
God
said that.
damn.
You had a lot of oomph behind that. That was a 29, and that was still technically a success.
Max's hand instinctively pulls a gun, but doesn't, like, aim it.
It's been drawn.
I don't know
Tandor
what you're
just-
trying to get out of this.
You're mad at me. So stop being mad. Do something. Yell, fight, cry, do something.
I am doing something.
No. They're sitting around, not talking to people, picking fights, being cry, a baby about everything, ignoring the people
What do you
around
mean
you.
picking fights? Who's to say this isn't my way of doing something? Just because it's different from your way? Is that... Are you instinctively right about everything, despite you haven't been nearly right about anything on any of our adventures?
I
You
haven't
stick
been
to
right.
what you're good at, and I'll stick to what I'm good at, okay?
Oh, I'm actually. Ooh, I'm gonna kick your ass, Riley.
What can I say? I'm really good at playing assholes.
This is so. You're putting me in a terrible position.
And Tandor's already raging. Oh man.
Did Ikar stay at the bar?
Eavesdrop.
Yeah, he's poking an eye out.
Okay.
He'd be keeping a distance, but he'd be keeping an eye out on.
They've moved some distance away from the village.
I followed.
Who else followed?
There's a tiny tender. Come on now.
That's valid. That's so valid.
Chemo does not follow. He stayed at the bar.
I did not notice that Chemo didn't follow. There's a tiny tender.
You're not good at everything. You're not good at most things. You say you are responsible for me. You're not good at that.
Excuse me?
Have you talked to me about anything?
Not like we used to.
When you considered me a boulder that you had to drag?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah. We used to talk all the time.
When I
Hell,
was useful to you.
I enjoyed all of the conversations that we had. But then you stopped respecting what we had.
No.
You started talking to Rowan, and I don't know whatever she said, but after you guys had your conversations, suddenly I became not a priority anymore. You would cut down my ideas. Stuff that we've already said before. Like, I got us out of situations. And suddenly, I never did that? Just because the group dynamic has changed, that changes what we had previously? Is that it?
Tandor visibly is no longer raging anymore. The like heat effect is starting to wear off.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't stop disrespecting, or didn't stop respecting you. I started respecting others and myself. You might not want friends, but I do.
Max kind of sighs. You know, you can have friends. I never said you can't have friends. Hell, I shouldn't even be the one deciding if you can or not. But my problem is when you put that above me. You prioritize everything else instead of it being equal priority.
Why would I prioritize you when you don't even see me as friend?
Because I kept you safe. You, you know what I can do. I know what you can do.
But you never treated me like I keep you safe. I cook, I feed you. I keep watch at night while you sleep. I put you on my shoulder so you can see. I follow you when you need arm strength. And you need muscle and power. But you don't see that. These people, we don't know them, and they're new. But they see that. So I ask again. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I prioritize?
Look, I'm sorry for not making it seem like I appreciated what you did. We had a good thing going. And frankly, as soon as we were legally in the clear, I wanted to get back to that good thing. I even said so much to you. And you
I know.
brushed me aside. You didn't even say a word.
But this is my good thing.
What, and you didn't even think that it was worth telling me? Am I that little to you?
No. But am I that little to you that my good thing can't have? Why do you get good thing and I don't?
You have your good thing.
I do now. I have you and I have friends. And I want you to be friend. I always thought you were friend.
Rocky, has it been 10 minutes?
Oh, that is there's a different potency for what's going on at present. Thank you. This is a narrative shrinking.
Okay.
I never had friends. Not really.
I get that. But what I'm saying
sorry.
is I've got a lot of experience with losing friends, okay? Losing family. Right now, I feel like the shit on the bottom of everybody's shoe. And maybe I shouldn't be taking it out on you. But we were each other's thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then when you stop backing me up, not just stop backing me up, when you undermine what I was doing, well, shit, that's like every friend I've ever lost punching me in the stomach one last time.
You undermine me all the time.
When?
Every time I say something, you tell
When?
lies about what I say to other people. You take things, words out of my mouth and change them so it benefits you. And sometimes it's not a big deal. But sometimes the things I say are important. They might not be the right words for the situation or configuration, and they're my words. They're not your words. I'm sorry that you feel like I knocked you down, but you do it too.
So what, you want me to stop covering for you when you say something that pisses another person off? Those mercenaries that we found in the desert, the ones where they were straight up ready to kill you. But because it was lost in translation at the time. That was me keeping us safe. I can stop doing that if that is so what you want. But I did it for good fucking intentions.
If I spill the juice, I have to clean it. I can't learn how to do things if someone keeps doing it for me.
And you're not
Or-
gonna have the opportunity to learn if you're dead.
You think I can die from those idiots?
Everyone can die. To the most idiotic thing.
Tandor is suddenly aware that they're very small.
I mean, not right now, but I can fight for myself.
Yeah, so could my brother.
There it
Best
is.
best fighter I knew. He never asked for help.
I'm not going to fall. I'm strong enough.
Yeah, well, so was he.
You can do all the best, but things will still happen. But I can't be strong as I'm supposed to if you keep cleaning up the spills. If you want to be my friend, be my friend. But I don't need you to treat me like small sick dog.
So what? You want me to never protect you again?
No, we protect
Free of the
each other.
constraints of my my help?
I don't need Vulture hovering over me. I need friend by my side. Have back. And if I go down, I go down. But I learn. And I won't go down again.
Yeah, until you do. That's what I'm saying. Death
Everybody
is a
goes
real,
down.
very real thing, Tando. I don't think that you've quite grasped this.
You think I don't know about death? My BB might not be there when we get back.
I'm not saying you don't understand it. I'm saying you don't have that much experience with it.
I did not lose brother, or father, or grandfather. But I've seen what happens when people don't get chance to make mistake. And then mistake is their last one. The littles that run around, when they fall, No one picks them up. They get up on their own. They lick their own wounds. If the mother comes and licks the wounds, they never learn to do it.
And the person who gets cut down, put to the sword, they don't get back up. Ever.
Well, then I hope when I go down, it was a lesson that I learned that I take with me.
What, to your grave?
To the next.
Yeah, your next grave.
No, to the beyond. Elsewhere. If you think this is all there is, you're wrong. I might not understand deeply what death is, but you don't either. And you fear it. Life is short.
And or short.
I'm strong. I can fight until I can't. And then, new adventure. Why for you fear? You have so few moments that you will spend that being afraid of what could happen instead of learning what did happen.
I know what did happen. I don't know if
Hmm.
you've been closing your ears this whole damn time. But what happens when you don't fear death is you fucking die.
We all die, Max.
Yeah, some of us sooner than others. I'm nearly a third the way through my natural lifespan if I make it that far. If I don't die to some person that I've pissed off. Or, hey, maybe I catch ill and just die.
That happens.
It does.
That's what happens.
And the difference is, I'm working to make sure that doesn't happen as much as I goddamn can.
Yeah. For you. And I protect you and make sure you stay alive.
What, and I'm not allowed to do it for you? Is that what you're saying?
You're allowed to, and I would like you to. But you don't let me live. You're scared of death so much. You stifle life.
If that's what you truly believe, then I'm not gonna try and change your mind.
I just want friend. I always thought of you as tough, older pup. And I did enjoy that you look out for me. But I need you to be by my side. Not behind my back. Not standing forever in front. When you do that, I don't know where I stand. To your back? To your front? Side by side.
If that's how you want to proceed, then we can do it like that.
That's how it should be. But if you don't want, what do you want?
I'm fine with that.
You can't take every arrow from me. I'm way too big.
Just understand that I do have the best of intentions. And I'll try and make less of these decisions that impact you so badly. That take away your freedom, let's say.
We treat each other like we are litter mates. Okay? No more babysitter. No more sick dog. We come from the same clutch. Is good?
What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that?
No, I'm spending my last on that.
You can't spend it.
Shit.
Once it's spent, man, even if it's worse.
What'd you fail? 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 What'd you fail?
Failed to hold back tears?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But what's the deception? What's the Where were you deceiving? What'd you fail to deceive? What'd you do? What'd you do?
He's very poorly hiding the fact that he's quote unquote okay with that.
Yeah, that is technically critical failure to that. And Riley, if I may, because you are rolling for that, it is not just you are not okay with that, but there is an insight then that Tandor would know why it's not okay. If you would be so enlightening to us.
So there is more behind what I'm about to say as well, but the surface level thing that you would be able to glean just from him attempting to say that is he can't bring himself to not protect someone.
Okay, Tandor. Tandor can
And
obviously sense that.
you can sense that, Tandor, and Riley, would I say that there has probably been stories of your brother before, or has there not been any? The one.
Well, I talked with his mom about his
There's
brother.
been a lot of hit stories about his brother.
There has been, and would there have ever been sort of an exchange between Maximus and Marinus, where they were buckled swash side by side, protecting as brothers as opposed to just being a protector? That sort of side by side protecting.
No, because if less Tandor, more if anyone else, Beans, Adrian, etc., caught on. Max literally said his brother never asked for help, and that's what got him killed.
Mm.
And so that little bit of insight then there. So Max needs someone to protect, but there's probably a way you can kind of frame that in Tandra's own way.
Yeah.
We shake on it. We have each other's backs. We protect each other. But as littermates, I protect you like blood, you protect me like blood.
Max holsters his pistol and extends a hand. Notably not saying anything.
At this point, Tandor pulls Max in for a hug.
And that's the narrative end for the shrink potion.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I was hoping for that.
I don't know if he'd take the hug.
Well,
Too
too
bad,
bad
I'm big
you know.
now.
Too bad you
He was extending a hand for a handshake.
Yeah, too bad. You got pulled in for a bro hug.
Now you're in air jail.
We can resolve the rest of this some other time. But
Yes.
for now,
It is a step
you
in the
are
right
my
direction.
brother.
It is a step in a direction, at least.
I have no litter mates, so this is actually like big of Tandor to say.
Any last words, Max? Other resolutions, Riley?
Nope.
Nope. Hopefully, step in the right direction. And with that, we will have a bit of a side as sort of the last thing we get to, with the sun beginning to set. And tomes and scrolls piled up with quite attentive eyes glancing over them. Old teachings telling of balance, light, dark, ways that can be put together, can be settled in the hand, can be sent a distance, or spread from oneself. A little bit of an inkling to a teaching from way long then. But that is all I have for you today, given the time that we are at.
Yee.
There's one really important thing that we have to figure out, though.
What?
I need to do a roll of some kind to see how inebriated Chemo got in the tavern left on his own.
Okay, yeah, that will be one fortitude save, thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's gonna be quite the sway. Did you take the same of what Max was taking before, or the new bottle?
Oh, fully drinking from Max's bottle. With
Oh.
intent of, if it gets emptied, or in fact, actually, if it doesn't get emptied, but it gets very low, I'm even sharing with other people. And I want to give him his bottle back that is almost emptied.
Oh my god, you vile, vile man.
There's
Don't
one
leave
other.
Kimo alone with your bottles. That's
There's one other roll that I would like to do,
Uh-huh.
to see if Chemo makes a friend.
That would be. How would you attempt to make friends?
Well, I put some stank on the make a friend.
Okay.
Make a friend.
So that will either be performance. Let me
It's always
see.
performance when you think about
Definitely performance. It's definitely
I
performance.
really want Rowan to come
No,
to the
absolutely
bar
not.
afterwards
Absolutely not.
and just witness
Barely
this
better.
atrocious scene of Chemo trying to make a friend. Rowan just like completely lost as to what the fuck is going on. Like, what? Why is there drunk ass Chemo? Where's everybody? What the fuck?
Make a friend. Okay. Would you be making a friend with one of the awakened animals or with one of the Leshy around?
Be a
Weird.
pervert.
Both are perverted to me because Chemo is not an awakened animal, but he would go with the awakened animal.
he's like
Okay.
awakened animal adjacent though. I mean, come
Doesn't know what to do with a plant person is the problem.
on.
Yeah, he's not a slutty bard.
Well,
don't you sleep with a Levy's progeny.
I'm sure, depending upon what you might find, there might be a. As I have a cat all at my arm here, we'll say I'll let it be your pick of a vixen, a hare, or a badger.
Hang tight, please, because we're going to leave this up to random chance. And I know how to use a computer, thank you very much.
Just
fooled
do
me.
roll 1d3.
What's a D3?
I
It's a
don't know.
three-sided die.
What does that look like, huh?
Idiot.
Fucking idiot.
It's
you
like
don't
one
know
of
what
those,
it
Probably
like-
a triangle.
Kind of roundish.
Technically, a coin is a D3.
What was the second option?
Vic-
No, it's
vixen.
not.
is. No,
Yeah, it is.
vixen,
It can-
hare, and badger.
It can
hare,
land on
vixen,
its
badger.
side. That makes it a D3.
Okay. If it's hare, vixen, badger, it would be the vixen.
Both is an analog.
Beautiful. Okay. We'll do something with that next week or
Mhm.
whenever.
A coin is just a weighted D3, Travis. Think about it.
Hey, I hate
True.
it, and it's your bedtime.
Well, that was a good one. We'll go ahead and
Yeah.
end this recording. Woo.